So, 79 weeks ago from today, I made a decision, y'all. The decision. And that decision was that I was tired. I was tired of being overworked. I was tired of being unhappy. And I was tired of being overlooked. I was tired of looking out the window and seeing everybody just live a prosperous life and just live life to the fullest. So I decided that I was going to take a leap of faith, and I was just going to trust that God was going to help guide me to my purpose, and that I was going to be able to fulfill that as long as I made some sacrifices. So I'm going to tell y'all all about the ups and the downs, and let y'all know where I'm currently at on my journey. But before we get into all of that, I'm going to need y'all to like this video and subscribe to my channel so that y'all can get more videos on self-discovery, leaving the rat race, and following the path to your purpose. So, to all my day one passengers, welcome back to the channel, man. And if you're new here, welcome to the journey, man. Welcome to the journey. Go have a seat, you feel what I'm saying? Put your seatbelt on, because this has been a crazy ride. So, I actually got some notes, right? Because look, my life is a movie, right? So I wrote some things down so that I can keep track of and pinpoint different parts of the journey, different time frames, right? So it all started, right? December 4th, 2024. That's when I made the decision, right? So it's actually a video somewhere right here. I be forgetting what side it's on. Anyway, that's the first video I ever made that started my journey. Like, I was sitting in my job, and like, I get to work at 8 o'clock sometimes. I get to work at 9 o'clock, sometimes earlier, right? Like, I was sitting there at my job, and I guess I was about to leave, but I still had more work to do. So like, I looked out the window and I seen how dark it was. It's like from sun up to sundown type, you know? I'm looking out the window, I'm like, it's dark. When I get home, what I'm gonna do? Go to sleep? Or I think that day I might have even had some more work to take home with me. Like, I probably had to put in some new employees, like put payroll in or anything, right? So I'm looking at the window, depressed and shit, like, I've been here since 9 o'clock, and here it is, 9 o'clock, damn near, right? When I get home, I ain't gonna have energy to do nothing for myself. I'm not in the mood to DJ. I'm not in the mood to, do social media. I'm not in the mood to do nothing but just go to sleep. It's just work, go to sleep, pay the bills, rinse, repeat. You feel what I'm saying? So, anyways, December 4th, 2024, that's the day that I made the decision, right? So that started everything. That started this journey that I'm on right now. So that was actually my first attempt at sobriety in December 4th, actually. And so I lasted 2 months. Before I relapsed. But during that 2 months, I also changed up my diet. I also picked up a vegan diet. And y'all can go like to my Instagram or my TikTok and actually see, if you scroll down, you can see my journey from day 1, trying to gain weight on the vegan diet, day 15, trying to gain weight on the vegan diet, all the way up until day whatever 2.5 months is, right? So that was a good 2-month run, I ain't gonna lie. But then after that, it was January. So boom, from January 2024, now we at February 2025. February 4th, that's the day I said I'm quitting my job. You feel me? So so when I decided to quit my job, I said, it was a pretty tough time, and I felt like I needed something to cope with it. So I started back smoking weed, started back eating whatever I wanted to, right? I'm like, I deserve this, you feel what I'm saying? That's what I thought, you feel me? So that's February. I relapsed on food, I relapsed on weed, the whole nine, right? So from February till about April, after I quit my job, I decided to do DoorDash full time, right? So I'm doing DoorDash, and around this time in April 2025, I took a break from social media. Because like I said, in December, that's when I, started trying to take things serious and document my journey, right? So December, I was doing content. I was doing the weight gain content. I was doing the vegan content. I was doing, some pretty good lifestyle content on my TikTok and on my my YouTube. So y'all can go back and see, like, between December 2024 And like February 2025, I was constant. I was consistent with my content, especially on Instagram. I'm sorry, yeah, on TikTok, and you feel what I'm saying, with the whole vegan journey. So I was consistent. But then, come April, right? This like 1 month into being, I ain't gonna say unemployed because I definitely was working, but this was like the first month where, things start to hit me. Reality start to really start to like chew away at me. So in April, I decided I took a 7 month break from social media, right? Starting in April. Why did I take a 7 month break? Well, life starts to hit you. It's like, okay, my rent was so expensive, y'all. I had $1,800 worth of rent and utility bills. $1,800. Then on this hand, I had to still pay the electricity separate. So I paid Pepco, phone bill, internet bill on this arm. Then you got rent and utilities over here. So both of those arms together combined it up to $2,000 a month. So I'm doing DoorDash trying to make $2,000 a month to sustain myself, on top of trying to make a little bit extra so I can have a life. You feel what I'm saying? Eat, buy whatever I want to buy. You feel what I'm saying? Especially with this smoking habit, I still was, doing that. So anyways, between April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, right? I took a break from social media because I was still in the rat race, for real. Like, I was paying bills, and on top of that, I was really trying to focus on my relationship. Like, me and my girlfriend at the time, we were, we was going through a lot. We had a lot of ups and downs, and I had to really pour myself into the relationship to try to make things work. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, I was overconsumed with DoorDash, and I was overconsumed with my relationship. So I took a break. I had to focus. You feel me? And so April, May, June, July, August, September, 5 months into that, where y'all wasn't seeing me. In September, that's when I lost my car. So from April 2024 is when I first got my car. April, May, I only had 30-day tags. So from May, because that's when the tags expired. So from May 2024 to September 2025, which is over a year now, my tags were dead. And so what I did was I started this thing to reprogram my subconscious. I'm like, you gotta stop overthinking. You gotta stop overthinking. Like, if you vibrate on a certain level, the police won't even be looking at you. Like, no one even be paying you no mind. But once you start overthinking and like, oh, I'm gonna get pulled over, that's when you're gonna get pulled over. So I started this thing called reprogramming my subconscious mind. So I had little things like, if you have a bad thought about getting pulled over, you replace it with 3 good thoughts. You feel what I'm saying? And if you have a bad thought about money, right? Like, all I do is work to pay the bills. I ain't gonna never be able to actually have money to myself. So that's a negative thought. Replace it with 3 positive thoughts. You feel what I'm saying? The relationship, oh, I'm not good enough, or, I deserve more, or, I get bad things because I've done bad things. You feel what I'm saying? Like, no, if you have 1 negative thought about your relationship, you replace it with 3 positive thoughts. So yeah, I kind of started this thing, this experiment. And that experiment definitely helped. It helped me not like get ticketed. It helped me not get arrested. It helped me not get my car towed. Like, I would get pulled over, don't get me wrong, but it was like once in a blue moon. And every time I did, they always let me go. So that was actually, I gonna say it was pretty cool. It was actually pretty stressful. But yeah, so back to the point, right? Here we are in September 2025. I get my car towed. Finally, it happens, right? They towed me out of my own parking lot in my complex because my registration is dead. So it's expired. My tag's expired. So they told me. And luckily, when I told my dad about it, he said, hey, I told him, I said, I got my car towed. I'm just giving him an update on life. And he like, when you drove up on me one day, my father-in-law seen your car, and he was like, man, that's a badass car. I would buy that from her if she ever was trying to sell it. I said, whoa, okay, shit, let me go get that thing out the impound. Let me go get it from the tow company, and so I can sell it to this guy. So I was able to sell my car for like $750 off the quickness, right? So that was kind of clutch, because I used that money to put towards my bills, because at this point I'm not working. DoorDash was my only stream of income, right? So September, this is what I started doing. I actually started helping my father move. Because my grandma had passed away. His mom, rest in peace, grandma. She had passed away, and they ended up having to sell the house. So I'm helping him move, right? And he's paying me for my time. So I sold the car. I'm getting paid from my dad to do this moving work. And I actually was doing some catering gigs. Some catering gigs, they was paying me under the table or whatever. I was doing that for a few months. And that was helping me actually, like, you know what I'm saying, stay on my feet, pay some of the rent, pay some of the bills. And my girl, she is really good at attracting money. So having her in my corner actually allowed me to, you know, kind of like stay afloat. You feel what I'm saying? Because there came a time where we was blessed with a lump sum of money from an unemployment, like back pay or whatever. And we was able to pay 2 months of the rent. You feel what I'm saying? So September, October, November, we was able to pay rent all the way up until about November or whatever. And then it was like, okay, now what? You feel what I'm saying? We both was struggling to pay the bills. So let's stay where we're at, right? So September, I lost my car. But also, I also realized that, like, I have to do something. I have to do something, right? So the thought came to my mind. Me and my dad actually talked about it, but the thought came to my mind to, hey man, apply for the military. Try to sign up for the military. Because if you sign up for the military, and this is where things get sticky. I said, if I'm gonna go to the military, I might as well get married, right? Me and my girl, we already engaged. I said girlfriend, but we was actually engaged in December 2024. Actually, it was before that. We got engaged earlier because I remember having a ring on my finger in October 2024. So, yeah. So I was actually engaged. So I'm thinking, like, if I go to the military, I don't know if y'all can hear me because it's a car with the loud muffler sound, just like my bad, sound just like my daggone car now. But anyways, so yeah, I'm like, if I join the military, we might as well get married so we can reap all the benefits. You feel what I'm saying? Housing, income, school, even. You feel what I'm saying? This is just so many benefits from being married in the military, right? So we decided to get married, and I started to study for the ASVAB test, right? I took the ASVAB test in like November, December. I failed the ASVAB test. So I'm like, bruh, what the? I spent 3 months studying too. So I spent 3 whole months like studying for the ASVAB. I was going hard. So when I went in there and I failed the test, I was real disappointed in myself. I ain't gonna say I was disappointed, my bad. I wasn't deterred either. It was just a setback. I just felt set back again. I'm like, what I'm gonna do? Like, so after that, I said, okay, I'm just gonna start applying for some jobs, right? I applied for over 100 jobs, y'all. Nobody hired me. Nobody wanted to hire me. I'm overqualified. I'm this, that, and the third. Y'all can watch this other video on why it's so hard to get a job. Why? Specifically for people like me that had all of these types of qualifications. Mind y'all, that job was so stressful because they wanted me to be the owner of the store. They just want me to be the GM no more. They wanted me to actually own the joint. So it was a lot more responsibility than usual. And they were absentee owners, so they never was in the store. They delegated all the tasks to me. You do this, you do that, you do everything, because we showing you how to be a businesswoman. So it was just really hard. So with those type of qualifications, when I go in for an interview, it's real hard. Like, they know I'm overqualified, and they be thinking, I'm sure they be thinking in their head, like, if you made it that far, why are you here? You feel what I'm saying? So anyways, here we are. I failed the ASVAB test. Here we are in 2000. We're in 2026 now, right? So boom. What had happened was the guy. So here we are in 2026, right? The guy that I sold the car to hits me up and saying, I'm looking to sell this car. Cause what he do is he buy cars, he fix them up, and he sell them. So he did that. He pulled that move on me. He bought my car, he fixed it up a little bit, and he reached out to me to resell it. And I'm like, damn, this is once in a lifetime. Like, you never get you never get the same blessing twice. I mean, y'all might, I don't know about y'all experience, but getting the same blessing twice was just like, whoa, you feel what I'm saying? I was really, really grateful. I got my car back, but I'm behind on rent now, because like I said, we was only able to pay the rent up until like November. So December, January, February is when I got my car. I'm like, we almost 3 months later on the rent. So boom, as soon as I get the call, what I'm doing? Door dashing, door dashing, door dashing, door dashing. I tried to apply for these jobs. I tried to get a real job. Nobody wanted to hire me. You feel me? So I'm back on my DoorDash tip, and I'm like, thank you, God, for giving me another way. You know what I'm saying? So back on my DoorDash tip, right? So boom, that's February, right? I'm door dashing. I'm trying to do my content, but I'm not consistent because I'm so focused on work and my relationship and life and just too much going on. So I never gave up on social media. It's just times where I had to take breaks. You feel what I'm saying? So anyways, February, boom, I'm working. February, March, April, right? Back in September, right? When we came up with the thought, go to the military, blah, 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 blah. We actually got married. You feel what I'm saying? So, bam, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, right? So I get my car in February. I get my car back in February. Here we are in April. We 7 months into the marriage, right? And bam, I get hit with I ain't gonna tell y'all what happened, but pretty much lines were crossed, trust was violated, and I filed for a divorce. I made a decision, you feel what I'm saying, to file for a divorce. It wasn't something that I wanted, but it was something that I had to do. I had to do because I had to determine my self-worth. Mind you, I'm already started this freedom journey. I already left my job. I already stopped smoking weed before. Like, I respect myself too much for me to allow certain things to just fester. You feel what I'm saying? So, like I said, lines were crossed, trust was violated, and I ended up filing for divorce in April of this year, 2026. And so I'm like, you know, we still live in an apartment at this time, but I'm like, if I'm finna leave you, I mean, you know what I'm saying, if we finna split up, and this is the house that we created together, I'm leaving this home too. So I decided to let the landlord know that we finna be leaving. We finna be cutting this lease short. You dig me? So by the end of April, by the last day, we left on the last day of April, and I came to stay with my mom. So here we go in May, right? May, I'm staying with my mom, and I'm using this month as a reset month. You feel what I'm saying? To just sit back, really contemplate on some things, figure out where I want to be headed. You know, like, what is life? You got to figure out, once you leave a long-term relationship like that. We was together for 7 years. Together 7 years, married for 7 months. You feel me? So it's like, you really got to figure out what's your identity outside. Well, me, I'm speaking for me. I have really had to figure out what was my identity outside of a relationship. And like, I used my time wisely, you feel what I'm saying, to build myself back up, build my confidence back up, you know, reclaim my identity, and just really decide what's my next steps, where I'm going from here. So that was May of this year, 2026. And then at the end of May, I said, you know what, I'm finna go back, I'm about to quit weed again. Mind you, this is my third attempt. I don't think I told y'all about the second attempt, but if you go to one of my videos, I'm gonna try to put it right here. It was like just a couple months ago, actually. I was like, I need to do this again. But it was hard. Like, it's hard to do when you around people that smoke, and you know, like my girl, she smoked, and I'm dealing with life, so it's just like I keep crashing out. So this is my third attempt. We at the end of May 31st. I said, cool, I'm done. So it was like May 30th, I smoked my last bit of weed, and then on May 31st, that started my current sobriety journey, right? So, cool, May was cool, you feel what I'm saying? At this point, I done left my relationship, so, you know, filed for divorce, so I'm single. I don't have to deal with all of this rent, right? I let go of my apartment, my relationship. Now I'm stopped smoking weed, you feel what I'm saying? Now I'm quitting weed again, and I can just stay with my mom and rebuild and reset, you feel me? So I'm like, things is looking up, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm right where I need to be. Like, it doesn't matter how old I am right now. It don't matter that I'm 30 years of age. This is perfect. Like, this is perfect. I still got a long way to go. 30 is just 30. Imagine 30 years from now. If I came this far, imagine what the next 30 years of my life can look like. You feel what I'm saying? to me, I'm gonna be forever young. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't gonna never die. And it's not because I'm scared to die. It's because I just truly know that I'm gonna live for a long, long life. I'm just gonna live forever, and I'm gonna be forever young. Anyways, that's besides the point. So here we are in June. Bam, I'm pumping out content. I said now I got all the time in the world to actually focus on me. You feel what I'm saying? I can focus on nothing but me now. Like, and it's not a selfish move, it's a self-full move. Like, now you gotta be all for yourself. Like, you spent a lot of your life dedicating to other people, and look where you at now. You feel what I'm saying? Look how far that's gotten you. You feel me? So now you gotta buckle down and you gotta reclaim your life. You got to. So bam, I'm like, man, I love being a content creator. It's just something that I always wanted to do for a long time, but I could never put full focus into it because being in a relationship, it's like, I think I told y'all in one of these videos, but I was like, I'm the type of person that when I get in a relationship, I tend to eliminate anything that's gonna, not say cause too much attention, but yeah, pretty much draw too much attention to me. Like, I just wanna show my loyalty in a relationship. But now, no relationship, no none of that. You feel what I'm saying? So no distractions. No weed distracting me. I can save my money up. I don't gotta spend money on my girl. I don't gotta pour into her. I don't gotta do all of that extra shit. It's just me now. You feel me? So every day of June, I posted a video. I posted a video on YouTube for the whole month of June. And on top of that, like outside of the YouTube videos, I was still making short form content on TikTok, Instagram. Y'all, the numbers skyrocketed. When I decided to let go of all of those things, the toxic relationship, the apartment that was draining my pockets, the weed that was draining my mind, my mental, my motivation, and my pockets, right? It all started to come full circle. For me. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, here we are on the current day. Like, what's today? It's July 3rd or something like that. Yeah, like, here we are, man. So to pretty much recap on everything that I told y'all so far, with the weed, I quit my job. Yeah, I quit my job last year, 2025. I'm still doing DoorDash, but I ain't gonna call it a setback. I'm gonna call it a setup for a come up. You feel what I'm saying? So my car is it currently need to go to the shop. You feel what I'm saying? So I can't do DoorDash right now until I take my car to the shop. But yeah, this is where we at. The sobriety journey. I'm 1 month sober. This month makes 1 month sober. Social media, right? I'm a full-time content creator, full-time DoorDasher, and I'm staying with my mom, so I'm actually able to not have so much anxiety when I can't go out and make money. You feel what I'm saying? Back when I was at that apartment, if I couldn't go out and make money, I'm like overthinking, like damn near panicking, like what I'm gonna do? You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when you lay all your problems out to God and you just say, God, I know that at some point I can't take it all. I can't bear all of this weight, and I need your help. I need you to give me the strength. I need you to give me the power. I need you to give me the wisdom. I need you to give me the compassion. I need you to give me these tools so that I can make it through. So as long as you put your faith in God, as long as I put my faith in God, everything's gonna work out. So yeah, I'm staying with my mom. I do DoorDash and content creation full time, and I'm single and I'm sober. That's where we at right now today. And if you ask me, I haven't felt this alive since I was a kid. Since I was in elementary, middle school, high school. That's the last time I ever felt this content, this happy, this much joy, this much freedom, this much like opportunity to do and be whatever I want to be. And I've already picked my lane, you feel what I'm saying? And I'm so grateful for y'all for actually being with me on this journey, supporting me on this journey, and like walking with me on this journey, because the whole goal is to like show people that it doesn't matter what stage of your life you're in, you can always pivot. You can always change the trajectory of things. As long as you believe in yourself and you trust and have faith in God, that's key. That's key, y'all. I'm telling you, God got me through a lot of stuff. That's why I have so much faith in God, because He is so evident. God is so evident throughout my whole life. Like, think about it, y'all. Think about the past. One of your worst moments where you felt like you wasn't going to be able to make it through this. It's like, damn, it's like your biggest tragedy, right? Look where you are today. Look where you are today. That's probably not even a thought in your mind no more. You're not even there no more. You're not even attached to that no more. But in the moment, it feels like the end of the world, right? But it's not. It's not. It's actually the start of something new if you willing to take chances on yourself, bet on yourself. And so that's why I'm so grateful for y'all, because but yeah, like I said, I just want to thank y'all. I just want to thank y'all for so much, for supporting me on this journey, following me along. And like, if I inspire at least one person from this video or from this channel, right? If I inspire at least one of y'all to take that leap of faith and start betting on yourself and start pouring into your purpose, pouring into your dreams, and letting go of all the shit that's distracting you, all the shit that's holding you back, that makes this whole journey worth it. That makes it worth it. Regardless, I was going to do the journey with or without documenting it, right? But I was like, that's part of my calling. Like, one of the gifts that I have is to inspire people and to motivate people. Like my dad told me before, we was talking in the car, and he was just looking at me like, you know, you could be a motivational speaker if you wanted to. And so, like, I'm a great storyteller, I'm a good motivator, and I'm a good inspiration. Like, I try to be a good role model to myself, because I've had people in my life that I looked up to, and I take things from them, like my grandparents and mentors that I look at on screen that aren't physical mentors, but you know, it's like I never had nobody like me in my life, so I have to go 100. I gotta go hard. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I gotta go hard, because like, I'm my number one role model. It's no one really around me right now in this current day and age. Like, what I'm saying is, there's nobody that's physically around me that I can like really look up to. They're like, most of the people I look up to, they on social media, like they on the internet, they internet famous, or I might meet somebody while I'm out, and I might grab inspiration from them, but I don't know them. You feel what I'm saying? That's why the military would have been good for me, because I'm surrounded by nothing but like-minded individuals, people that put discipline first, like people that appreciate the art of discipline, people that want to learn new things. You feel what I'm saying? People that's willing to take risks. You feel what I'm saying? To better their lives and things like that. Like, military would have been cool, but God told me that wasn't for me. God redirected me, and I really thought I was going to have a higher score than I did, but God said, no, I don't need you to, this is not your path. He always puts me back here. He always puts me in a position to inspire people and motivate people through social media, right? And that's just this stage of my life. Who knows where I'm gonna end up, 15 years from now. I'm excited. I'm excited for, to continue to move forward on this journey, on this path, y'all. It's a marathon. This is not gonna ever end. That's why it's called the journey. It's a journey. Like, you always gotta keep moving, because whenever you're not moving, whenever you stuck still, you're no longer living. You just alive. You feel what I'm saying? And so, I ain't gonna make this video too long, because it's already long enough, right? But if you made it all the way to the end of this video, I want to say thank you for staying tapped in. You feel me? And I can't wait to see y'all in the next video.